What's up, peeps? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Marcus? How you doing, man? The worker man, how you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Richard Toma, what's up? Nas Khalito, the Orthodox Moore, you put hands on boy. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that too. I'm gonna talk about how that whole thing, how that whole thing came into fruition, how we even set up the debate and all that good stuff. George Kraft from Austin. Natalie, what's going on? Niko been educating Tulsi haters all weekend. Yeah, I mean, the Tulsi hater. I'm not really trying to educate the Tulsi haters. I'm trying to expose the Tulsi haters. But my ultimate goal is actually to educate the Tulsi supporters who are constantly having to fend off these deranged, delusional sycophants. Like, it's getting ridiculous, and unfortunately, there's obviously no way to combat all the smears from everybody all the time. But what we can do is equip people with the tools to combat them when they see them. And so that's what Unknown Space Pioneer, tell Tim to come on. Tim know where I'm at. Tim got my number. I know Tim been trying to talk shit on a sneak tip. I heard about him trying to talk shit in little streams, but Tim has my phone number. If Tim got something to say, Tim can bring his ass right on the show and say it. Tim know me. So I don't have any problem debating anything about the shit I believe in. If you can put yourself in front of a camera like every day for your job, you do as much research as I do, maybe not, but you say you do as much research as I do, or Pasta or Fiorella or Sophia. You're so set. Because my thing is, I can't talk shit about somebody else's candidate. Like, if I've chosen a candidate, I can't go talk shit about your candidate unless I know my candidate, right? Because that's what you're basically saying. Oh, your candidate's not as good as mine. Okay, so if my candidate isn't as good as yours, then come tell me about it. If you will, I'm not, because that's why I have somebody else moderate it, because I am aware that I'm an experienced debater, and I don't want to just fucking drive somebody into the dirt with a bunch of rhetoric they're not going to understand. And I could drive the conversation in a way that I could win every time without even trying. But I have a moderator so it can be digestible for not only the audience but the other person. But my thing is, this isn't like we're debating semantics over socialism versus capitalism. It's not like some super philosophical debate. It's policies. It's policies. That's it. And yet, for all this shit, people are so goddamn loud on Twitter, bro. They're so fucking loud on YouTube. They can even be loud at Politicon. They're loud when they go on other people's channel. All these motherfuckers be loud as hell. Okay, come defend yourself in front of somebody who knows what the fuck they talking about. Because, yeah, you can. There are a lot of trolls. I've found to be the truth that Tulsi supporters are generally the most educated because we spend most of our damn time having to defend Tulsi. And most of the time, you've become a Tulsi supporter because you've educated yourself on this system so much that you know that Tulsi is really the only one who has shown the propensity to defeat the system. However, on average, most Tulsi supporters don't have the time to do the research that I would have. Like, this is my full-time job. So they don't have the time to do the research that I can do. And what you see is that these these unhinged establishment neo-progressive hacks, they take advantage of that. And what they do is they take advantage of Bernie's popularity. They take advantage of the following they've got from leveraging Bernie's popularity. Never put any fucking work into the movement, though. Let me be very clear about that shit. Let me be very fucking clear about that shit, because Obi tried to have the nerve at the end of the damn debate talk about something. How about you go do some work? Woo, boy. Dog. Bruh, I almost snapped. I'm like, bro, you got some motherfucking nerve to tell me to go do some work. This boy, he created a fake ass yellow vest Twitter, a YouTube channel with 50 subscribers, and think he's doing work for the movement. But that's what these people will do. They'll try to leverage their Twitter following. They'll try to leverage their subscriber base. They'll try to leverage their money, their network, everything they can, so that they don't get the chance to get called out and brought into the center and sit down with your ass one-on-one for everybody to see. Listen, y'all. Retweets and likes can't save your ass from a debate. You gotta know what the fuck you talking about. And at the end of the day, let me be clear. As good of a debater as I may be, the truth is, Tulsi makes it super easy to win these things. Like, it's not like I didn't introduce the OFAC. I'm anti-regime change war, obviously. But, like, I didn't introduce the legislation to back everything up I say. It's so easy for me to talk about Tulsi because she makes it easy. But the fact that she makes it so easy for me to win these debates is what makes it even more confusing how people hate her so much. But if you listen to these debates, then, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but if you listen to these debates, it's very clear to see, like, they actually project their fears in their rhetoric. For example, towards the end of the debate, you just hear Obi, we have to get behind Tulsi or Bernie. She is not a good candidate. We have to get behind Bernie. She's a bad candidate. She's a fake progressive. And hold on. Why can I say so confidently? Actually, I think Bernie and Tulsi would be great presidents. I just think that Tulsi would be a better one. I think Bernie would be better as a vice president or as the head of the Senate. But I mean, both of them are great. Why can I say that without feeling like Tulsi is threatened, but they can't admit that Tulsi would be an amazing president without feeling Bernie is threatened? Because Tulsi is a threat to Bernie. They're worried that if you have to make Tulsi out to be the worst candidate ever, because if you don't, then people might figure out that she's actually objectively the best presidential candidate the Democratic Party has ever had. You know that line they always tout? The Democrats used to tout that shit in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. Oh, Hillary's the most qualified presidential candidate in history. She's the most qualified. The most qualified. Yeah, nah. We actually have the most qualified presidential candidate in history right now. Not 2 years ago. You know what's funny? I hear all these people talking about they want to go back to FDR. They want to go back to an FDR system. FDR, we want to go back to the old Dems. And I'm sure they don't mean this they don't mean it the same way that Trump did. But is that not the same Make America Great Again bullshit that we heard from Trump? Is that not the same thing? Why does it seem like every presidential candidate wants to go back to the ACA, go back to FDR's deals? Let's go back. Okay, that's cool. What FDR did was great. But why is it Tulsi the only one that wants to move forward? Learn from what we've done and move forward. Because FDR won't all rain and sunshine, people. I don't know why people keep thinking that shit. Why can't we learn from FDR, cool, and then move forward? I don't want to go back to the FDR era. I don't want to go back to this Democratic Socialist era that because people keep forgetting, World War II was still involved in that. One of FDR's fatal flaws is that he refused to address corporatism. in our foreign policy, which is part of the reason that World War II was even allowed to happen. It seems like Tulsi's the only one that want to go forward. FDR is cool, but once again, Henry Wallace was infinitely better. And I want my candidate to be more like Henry Wallace than FDR. If you don't get the reference, do some research on Henry Wallace. You'll love him. It was his vice president before Truman stole it from him. But people ask me, what's my biggest fear? Like, why am I not okay with Tulsi winning VP? And because first of all, the superdelegates picked the VP still. I don't know if people know that. But to be clear, FDR had one vice president for 3 terms. Remember, FDR had like a crazy, like he set the record for the amount of terms served as president. FDR had Henry Wallace as his vice president for 3 of his terms into the last term. Because everybody knew that FDR was about to die, especially the Democrats, the conservative Dems established a coup against Henry Wallace. And this is what scared the hell out of me, because Bernie said that he's the most like FDR, and I 100% believe that, and that's kind of what scares the hell out of me. Because guess what happened? Even though FDR was really good friends with Henry Wallace, FDR was known as this, I'm going to fight and I'm going to stand up to the Democratic Party. I'm anti-establishment. FDR let the vice presidential nomination be stolen from Henry Wallace and given to Truman, and it fundamentally changed the course of history. It fundamentally changed the outcome of everything that has come to pass. Hiroshima and Nagasaki does not happen if Harry S. Truman does not become president. The Cold War does not happen if Harry S. Truman is not allowed to become president. I mean, those are just 2 pretty massive examples. Truman was an incompetent, blithering moron, and everybody knew it, and that's exactly why the intelligence community took advantage of him. And FDR let it happen because he didn't want to cause any controversy within the Democratic Party. I thought I saw a super chat. Do I like Jayapal as VP for Bernie or Tulsi? Tulsi. If Tulsi is Bernie's VP, I would be comfortable with that, only because I know she would only accept it under the it will only be contingent on Tulsi being in complete control of Bernie's foreign policy. that would be the only way she would accept it. She's not playing about that shit. So so this debate that I had, a lot of people are probably like, what the hell, where that debate even come from? So basically, if you're on Twitter, you know that Yellow Vest initially got his popularity by kissing Tulsi's ass, and by proxy kissing my ass often. He tried to get involved in the beef between Anna and I, and he was always trying to DM me. Look at what Anna said. Look at what Anna said. He just was all he cared about was drama. And I'm like, whatever. He wasn't lying about anything. I could tell he loved drama a little bit too much, but he wasn't lying. So I entertained him, and he even posed for I had a picture with all the MCSC fans in San Francisco, and he like jumped into the picture. And he's a cool guy, so I didn't think anything of it. So he began to like I said, he jumped off. Like, his whole thing was attacking Anna and Michael Brooks and all that shit, and that's how we started to build this little base. However, he quickly realized that I probably was not about to just bring him on my network just because he made a YouTube channel and was talking shit all the time and causing drama. Like, I don't bring drama seekers onto the network. That's not what we do. As you can see, I'm really, really meticulous about the people I bring on. And that's why everybody on the network is the best at what they do. And that's for, I mean, like I said, found a gem with Sophia. Sophia is the most intelligent 18-year-old that I have ever, like politically, at least politically, I mean. She's the most politically astute 18-year-old I've ever met before in my life. And I doubt I'll ever meet anybody close to that again. So it's like a real, it was a real issue for him, clearly. Because after I brought on Sophia, and after I brought on Robbie Jager, who broke the news about the CAA and the UTA agencies, and how all the people that were smearing Tulsi were magically connected to this CAA and UTA agency, and from that WikiLeaks email where Michael Kives said that he's going to put the hammer down on Tulsi because she left the DNC to endorse Bernie. So after that, he began to attack Tulsi. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he starts saying that her plan is a public option, which is demonstrably false and a complete and total lie. It's just a lie. Like, to be real, it was just a lie, a flat out lie. And I would have been a little bit more forgiving if Tulsi herself hadn't corrected, because he was on this thread. It was a while ago. Tulsi herself had corrected it, and Tulsi's husband corrected it. And I corrected it and explained to him what public option is, but yet he decided and proceeded to, like many others, to lie and say, if Tulsi has private insurance at all in her policy, then it's a public option. No, that's not. You can't just make up definitions and shit. That's not how life works, okay? So I'm like, if you want to debate how much of a role private insurance should have in single payer healthcare, then I'm actually more than willing to have that debate. But that wasn't what the debate was. It was, oh no, we can't have any private insurance whatsoever, which was funny because if you remember, whenever the Medicare for All discussion started at the beginning of this year, if you all remember, what was the whole thing that they were quoting? Bernie's MSNBC interview. No middle ground. We're not going to have any private health insurance. And then me and Fiorella and Pasta were like, hold on. Why does Bernie keep saying that? I'm looking at the bill. There's private health insurance. It's supplemental, but it's still private. But their whole argument, and I mean, I remember because Mike Figueredo he thought that we were making shit up when we were like, bro, no. There's private health insurance. And then it was, oh, hold up. What we meant was non-duplicative coverage. That's what we meant. Private is okay as long as it's non-duplicative. Hold up, but I thought you just said that no private health insurance, no middle ground. What happened? No middle ground. Hold on. So when Bernie said it was no private insurance on that MSNBC interview, y'all believed him. And you were arguing with people over the shit before you even read the bill. And then it was, what we meant was non-duplicative. Oh, okay. That's fine. So, non-duplicative coverage covers more than cosmetics. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I'm like, okay. So does Bernie's health insurance cover orthodontics? Most of these motherfuckers don't even know what orthodontics is. No, it does not, by the way. I said, does Bernie's health insurance cover chiropractic? Does Bernie's health insurance cover LASIK eye surgery if it's elective? But like your eye, like, so for me, my vision is not horrible, but it is bad enough that I could get elective LASIK eye surgery. It would make my job obviously much easier. Because like I have stigmatism, so there's other problems that come with stigmatism, like dry eyes and blurred vision, and you see colors a different way, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, it doesn't cover that. There's a lot of things that Bernie's bill did not cover, or excuse me, that Bernie's bill that does not cover, that would be covered in fact by non-duplicative care. But they don't want to hear that. They just want to keep repeating cosmetics. It's all about cosmetics. Cosmetics. Mind you, everybody talking about the health insurance conversation, including OB, Yellow Vest America, for those of you on Twitter. Everybody having that conversation None of them have actually worked in the health insurance industry. None of them. Not a single one. Not a single one of the motherfuckers have worked in the health insurance industry. And guess what? Luckily for me, because I've had some wild life experiences, I'm fortunate for all of them, I've actually worked in the health insurance industry. And believe it or not, it was specifically supplemental health insurance. Believe it or not, I know it's crazy. And I'm not, because I didn't make this, the reason I know what isn't covered by Medicare is because I dealt with Medicare customers all the time. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. When you have experiences, sometimes you learn some shit from them. Anyway, so I'm explaining to people in a rational sense, hey, Bernie's bill isn't perfect. Bernie's bill isn't the end all be all. That's all I'm trying to say, y'all. He does not have a monopoly on healthcare. He doesn't. Jayapal already proved it because she has a better bill. That's it. And Tulsi, in my humble opinion, has absolutely earned when she obviously co-sponsored Jayapal's version of Medicare for All. However, after she talked to people on the road, she felt that she could actually introduce a better version of what Jayapal and Bernie were offering. And guess what? Because Tulsi's introduced better versions of literally everything introduced in the House of the Senate, Tulsi has, that's progressive, Tulsi has either introduced the best version of it or the only version of it. She gets the right to say, I can do it better. She's earned that shit. She's earned it without a shadow of a doubt. But see, that's the problem. It was never about whether or not Tulsi could introduce a better bill. It was the fear that Tulsi could introduce a better bill. You get what I'm saying? Because that casts doubt on Bernie. Because then people are asking you, well, why does Tulsi need to introduce a better bill? Because then you have to then explain to people, because I don't know why people can't just separate these facts in their minds. You have to explain to people, well, the truth of the matter is there was actually a better version of Bernie's bill introduced in the House of Representatives. And for some damn reason, Bernie decided to take the worst version and introduce it after a better version was already there for him to introduce in the Senate. So that's all well and good. Bernie has his plan's still great. Nobody said his plan was horrible. Y'all have never heard me once say Bernie's Medicare for All plan is horrible and we shouldn't pass it and we shouldn't even think about. No, I've never said that. Have I ever said that? No. But I have said this. Tulsi absolutely deserves to push her own plan because she has shown the propensity to, when she introduces something, it is 9 times out of 10 the best available. Period, point blank. Oh, they can't have that shit though. God forbid Tulsi be Bernie on foreign policy, climate change, and now healthcare. Oh, if that shit happened, oh, they would lose their mind. They would lose their mind. There is this idea that if Tulsi does something well, that must mean Bernie sucks. At least that's how Bernie supporters portray this. They every time, no, she's not. Tulsi sucks. She's evil. She's a fascist. It's crazy. Whenever Bernie wants to go on his speeches, climate change is the most important thing. We can't wait. No middle ground. Oh, okay. So, OB, I asked him this during the debate. I said, Obi, if there's no middle ground and climate change can't wait, then why the hell did Bernie wait to introduce? Oh, matter of fact, he hasn't introduced any legislation yet. The OFF Act, which was introduced by 400 climate and environmental organizations. I love saying it. 400. It rolls off the tongue. 400. YG 400. 400. Not 100. Because 400 doesn't sound as good. It doesn't have as much oomph to it. It's 400 climate and environmental organizations that didn't endorse it in 2019, didn't endorse it in 2018, but endorsed it in 2017. And oh shit, Bernie was in the Senate. And I thought climate change couldn't wait. No middle ground. Oh shit. But what they meant was, oh no. We meant that climate change can't wait, but it can fucking wait for Bernie Sanders because it's Bernie Sanders. We can't question him. No. No, can't have that. It's crazy. This obsession with this idea that Bernie and Tulsi can't coexist as great candidates. You can have your preference. But even during the debate, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, so Obi started calling me a liar. He attacked Fiorella. He attacked Sophia. And he wasn't. Listen, y'all. Y'all know listen. Don't come at my people. Don't come at my people or I gotta embarrass your ass. Period. Point blank. Don't come at my people. Don't call my people liars when my people always come receipts. And if you feel you have to denigrate Tulsi in order to boost Bernie, just for all the little Bernie bro trolls in the group chat, it's probably because you're not confident in Bernie. That's probably what that means. I'm sorry, but hey, it's the truth. I really don't give all that much of a fuck about the Bernie supporters who are going to kiss Bernie's ass no matter what he does. But I wanna help you all understand that Obi, I have nothing to gain from debating Obi. I had nothing to gain at all. He's probably gonna get a little bit more popular off of this. Natalie, you're my people. Thank you, I appreciate it. I had nothing to gain. He probably even got a little bit more popular after this. And that's fine. Because usually the more people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about talk, they fade to the background after a while. If they don't have a bunch of money backing them. So if you have money backing you and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you'll probably become famous, to be real. Anyway, but my issue is that whenever I'm having this conversation, I'm having this healthy debate. Appreciate that, K. Julian. Thanks for the super chat. I always call you K. Julian. Cool Gian. I don't know why I just take this fuck the U and the L, whatever. But Kevin Slim, thanks for the super chat. She can win, she will win. Absolutely. Absolutely. Positively. But when we're having these conversations about Bernie and Tulsi, why is it that the majority of Tulsi supporters, not all of them, there's some Tulsi supporters that legitimately do not like Bernie. That's fine, because like if I'm gonna be real, the reason they don't like Bernie are actually legitimate. I can't argue with them. I'm like, look, man, I gotta be a little bit easy on the guy. Like, you know, he's still one of the best candidates out of the field. He's still the second best candidate out of the field. He's just not better than Tulsi. And they don't like him. And they bring up things like ignoring election integrity, Russiagate, you know, all that stuff. Like, they bring up legitimate reasons not to like Bernie as a candidate. And that's fine. But you can't come up with a legitimate reason not to like Tulsi as a candidate that doesn't apply to Bernie. The things that people hate about Tulsi can easily be applied to Bernie. And there are some things that people have made up in their minds about Tulsi that actually are applicable to Bernie. Number one, because this was my favorite part of the debate, because it really exposed just how sycophantic some of the people in the Bernie movement can be. And this isn't everybody, of course. I stopped supporting Bernie Sanders because of burners, and it had nothing to do with him. Just saying. Well, there you go. See? And there's a lot of people who are like that, by the way. A lot of people. Because it makes you wonder, like, at a certain point, your supporters are a little bit representative of the candidate. It sucks, but it's the reality. It is the reality. And burners have become, not once again, not all of them. There are some good ones out there, but let's be clear. some of the most prominent voices. These aren't bots. These are prominent voices in the Bernie Sanders movement. They are full of shit. They lack the ability to prove Bernie is the best candidate without having to disparage Tulsi. That's the only way they can do it. And most of it is, once again, lies. So, we had a conversation about Israel and Palestine during that debate. Those of you who were there in that debate, remember this. And if I recall, I tried, thanks, oh, damn. Oh, yeah, Bernie did vote for the crime bill. Oh, by the way, he did vote for the crime bill, and when asked if he would repeal it, he said he would not. Just let everybody know. Free Bird, thanks for the super chat. Aloha 2020, Niko. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Aloha. Aloha. Anyway, so we had a conversation about Israel and Palestine, which everybody should be having when we're talking about Bernie and Tulsi. And everybody has recently, for whatever reason, that issue has come up more. I don't know why. But it has. And that's fine because I love when we get an opportunity to have discussions about shit Tulsi is really good at. And Bernie has fallen short at, but for whatever reason, once again, people confuse tall tales with reality. So when we got to discussion about Israel and Palestine, I let OB just rattle off at the mouth a bunch of bullshit. Bernie is so much better. I saw that clip on Twitter and he said that he was going to give money to Gaza. Like, bro, he's the fucking best, bro. He's giving money to Gaza, bro. He giving money to Gaza. Like, it's money. It's military aid to Gaza. Like, you can't get any better on Palestine than that. And Tulsi basically fucking sucks. So, like, of course, Bernie, yeah. Tulsi just sucks, man. Remember, she hates Muslims. She is obviously worse on Israel and Palestine. That's basically how that conversation went. But I'll post the clip up later so you can see it. So I let him finish. And then I read this quote. And I read it straight from the article. Because I didn't want any confusion. And I wanted to see how he was going to respond. And I'm going to read it to you all. And I'm going to see how you all respond. Because he tried to skip over that shit. But I'm going to hear how you going. Let's hear what you all think about this. If a two-state solution fails, took Rory as Sanders, would he support a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike, with equal citizenship? No, I don't, he said. I mean, I think if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. And I support Israel's right to exist. Hold up. Oh, Dumont, that's so sweet. That's so cute that that's a bad answer. Oh, no. You're being nice. You're being really nice by saying that's a bad answer. Bernie just said that a group of people does not deserve equal rights nor equal citizenship. Hold on. Okay, so I want to be very clear about something. Has it been Bernie that has been called an Islamophobe? Has it been Bernie who's been told he is absolutely horrible on Israel and Palestine? And somehow he's been uplifted like he's this great on Israel and Palestine. I don't get it. But he's been uplifted as if he is great on the issue, which he's never been Even back in the day when I supported him, I knew that was one of his weaknesses. Okay, so I want to get this straight because I'm a Tulsi supporter. And I know motherfucking well, if Tulsi had said those words, oh, we got a problem. The whole internet is blowing the fuck up for an entire week with video after video after video after video after video after video about this. Am I right or am I wrong, people? If you're saying I'm wrong, you a goddamn lie. And I know what some of you may be thinking. You might be thinking, well, that was in 2013, Niko. That was a long time ago. That was, we can forgive him for that and we can move on because after 2016, we all evolved. We've entered this enlightenment period and all of us are more educated because of it. And you know what? I agree on everything except for the fact that it wasn't in 2012 and it wasn't in 2013. It was in 2017. It was in 2017. But y'all motherfuckers is mad over some shit, over Tulsi's stance on the LGBTQ issues from when she was 21 years old. That never affected a legislative decision that she made because she has a 100% voting record on the issue. But Tulsi is Islamophobic. I legitimately, when I read that quote for the first time, y'all know I still have never posted that quote on Twitter because it is that disgusting. For the first time, it made me look at Bernie different as a person. As a person, it made me look at, because for all of the faults that Tulsi has had, I have never heard her say that a group of people doesn't deserve equal rights so another group of people can maintain them. What in the... Bro. Rock Lee, am I wrong to judge Elon for shading Tulsi? No, you're not. No, for what? Bro, listen, we all know what time it is. A lot of these progressives, don't get me wrong, by the way, Ilhan is still a great congresswoman. For the most part, her advocacy and her legislation have been progressive, and the legislation she's advocated for has been progressive, but Ilhan is not perfect. She is not perfect by any means. And this is an example of that. At the end of the day, Tulsi, Ilhan is older than Tulsi. Ilhan is older than Tulsi. Rashida Tlaib is older than Tulsi. Do you really think that any of these people that would be considered her contemporaries want to see Tulsi be the youngest president in history? And let's be honest, if Tulsi becomes the president, she would quite literally be, without a shadow of a doubt, or beyond a shadow of a doubt, the best president in history. You think they want that? You think that who wants to, every time Ilhan as a woman, as a female congressman, as a progressive, as a woman of color opens her mouth, well, did Tulsi Gabbard inspire you? Anna, how much has Tulsi Gabbard's presidency inspired you to be a better journalist? Emma, why do you suck so bad? Well, as a follow-up question, why is Tulsi so great? You think they want to deal with that for the next 8 years? In all seriousness, people think that shit doesn't affect the way people go about their business, but it affects people on YouTube right now. I see it on YouTube. So if you don't think it happens in politics, where half these motherfuckers have these egos that are beyond anything that most of the average people in this country can comprehend, of course it affects them. It's much easier to cheer for grandpa. Because grandpa is grandpa. I'm not going to have to deal with grandpa for another 30 years. So, why can we pretend that this shit isn't a big deal? What is the reason for that? In all seriousness, what is the reason that we can pretend that Bernie literally suggesting that a group of people should not have civil rights, that a group of people shouldn't have equal rights? Why is that okay? Why is it okay? Why is it okay? I'm legitimately asking. I'm glad everybody, there are people, Medicare for all, yeah, that shit sounds real cute. Nah, Bernie just said that a group of people do not deserve equal rights. Fuck Medicare for all at that point. Don't get me wrong, I want to see it pass, but at what point am I supposed to just ignore my integrity? At what point am I supposed to ignore my conscience so I can have a better life? Like, it's cool. Bernie's the only one who would divert funds to Gaza as long as they don't get fucking equal rights. What do you think that Gaza wants more? What do you think Palestinians want more? Equal rights or funding? I don't know. I don't get it, bruh. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. When you can read a quote, I'm gonna read it again in case y'all just got here. I'm gonna read it again. If a two-state solution fails, Takuri asked Sanders, would he support a one-state solution with equal rights for Israelis and Palestinians alike and equal citizenship? No, I don't. I mean, I think that if that happens, then that would be the end of the state of Israel. I'm so confused. I just what do you call that? I don't know. What do you call that? When you don't give a fuck about Muslims so that the Jewish elite can maintain their disproportionate amount of wealth in unpunished apartheid state? Like, what do you call that when you sacrifice the Muslim polity for the white supremacist establishment that is Israel? What do you call that? I don't know. How about this? Let's remove Bernie from that sentence and let's replace Tulsi with that. Would that actually help you all know what the word for that is? Because if I put Tulsi's name in there, then y'all would call that Islamophobic, right? Because y'all still call Tulsi Islamophobic from a clip that was taken out of context. Y'all was mad at her for calling radical Islamic extremists. Y'all were mad at that shit. But we not upset. It ain't a game changer to call innocent Muslims or tell innocent Muslims, nah, bro, you don't get equal rights because I really like them. I think they should survive. Because you know what that is insinuating, right? You know what that's insinuating. If you're telling the innocent Muslims, hey man, I would give y'all equal rights, but that would mean the end of Israel. Things could happen. What do you mean that would be the end of Israel? What are you trying to say? Are you insinuating somehow that Muslims are inherently violent and would try and wipe out Israeli people or Jewish people? Because that's what that means. That's what you're saying. You're saying Israel will be wiped out, that the Jewish population will be wiped out, even though there are Arab Jews, which is a whole different debate. So once again, if I took Bernie's name out and put Tulsi's name in, oh, we would know what the fuck that was then, huh? That's what we call Islamophobic. Bernie made an Islamophobic statement. And guess what? Bernie's allowed to have his mixed steps. He is. But he actually has not been called out on it. In fact, it's quite the opposite. People have cloaked Bernie in this damn, it doesn't make any sense. Like, oh no, he's the best. Like, where did they even get that idea from that he's the best on Israel? Like, that he's really good. He's so good. They see a clip on Twitter, and I swear to God, it's like, that's like, oh man, it confirms my bias. Definitely, he's the best. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Definitely the best. Yeah, for sure. So if I'm having a debate with somebody like Obi, and I tell you something, because remember, he at the end of the debate, he started crying and whining and getting all emotional about how she's an Islamophobe. I fucking hate you, Niko. You called Brooks a fucking, you talked about his white privilege. He got really upset that I called out Brooks for exemplifying white privilege, because he does on a regular basis, as most of the progressive movement tends to do. So yeah, but he got really upset. And he started personally attacking and ad hominem attacking Tulsi. She's a liar. You're a liar, Niko. Oh my God. Bro, I just told you your savior, your Lord and Savior, Bernie Christ, just said that a group of people that just happen to be Muslim don't deserve equal rights. I just told you this. And if you watch the debate, this man straight the fuck up ignored that shit. Ignored it. Like, you can't just move on. We having a whole debate about Israel and Palestine, who the best. You done listed a whole bunch of shit of why you think Bernie the best and why Tulsi sucks and da da da. I'm telling you, fuck all the funding. You like, okay, so if I'm living in segregated 1960 United States, what the fuck do you think I want more? Funding or to have equal rights? What do you think is better? Out of curiosity. I just want to know. I just don't know. What is it? Because, I mean, I'm a black man. I didn't live in segregated times. I wouldn't have made it. I'm a little bit too light-skinned. They'd have been like, oh, bro, you didn't pick a side, so you're going to have to hang out with the white kids. And white kids obviously not going to let me hang out with them. So they're going to hang out with the black kids, and the black kids going to be like, you're not black enough. It would have been a fucking horrible time for me. My grandmother had to deal with it because she's only a quarter black. So that shit would have sucked. But if I did live in segregated times, and a congressman come up to me and say, hey man, you want some money, or would you rather drink at the same fucking water fountain as everybody else, eat the same fucking food as everybody else, ride in the same bus and sit in the same seats as everybody else, get the same social security as everybody else, get the same job as everybody else? I'm probably going to take the latter. But what's most important is, out of curiosity, how many times have you ever heard Tulsi Gabbard say that another group of people does not deserve equal rights? Especially so that another group of people can exist. Have you heard that? I've never heard Tulsi say that. I don't think so. I can ask her though. Because if Tulsi did say that, say if Tulsi said that, how many people do you think would be in my DMs, in my YouTube comment? You gonna make a video about Tulsi saying that Palestinians don't deserve equal rights? Oh shit. Vela4 V. Why you gotta lie, Niko? What I lie about? What I lie at? Oh, Charles Richard. Tulsi takes pics with Marion Adelson. That's interesting that you care about that, because Bernie goes to J Street conferences in the middle of a presidential election. So there's that. And he takes J Street money. So we can go back and forth with this all day. Brody, why do you... Come on, bro. You just saw me debate. You know better than this. Don't do that. Jason from Detroit. You say some sexist shit like that in my fucking comment section again, I'll block your ass. So don't play with me, bro. Anyway, I'm still waiting to figure out what I was lying about. What did I lie about? Vela4 V. I see you've been very talkative. So what did I lie about? What do you mean I got an article or anything for what Bernie? I just quoted you. I just quoted. You think I just made up a name? Like Takuri? You think I made up a name, some random interview? Like, man, what would be a good fake name for an interviewer? Takuri. Hell yeah. Everybody believe that shit. Nobody would ever believe I'd make that up. You think I would make some... No, fuck that. You think that I would make some shit like that up? This is how insane we've gotten. This is see, y'all making the Bernie movement look real goddamn bad right now. Y'all making the Bernie movement look real fucking bad right now because I'm giving you exact quotes. Y'all won't believe it, but y'all real quick to believe smears about Tulsi though, huh? Y'all quick as fuck to believe those. Okay. I just Google. How about this Vela4? Because I'm here the deal. I do research for my supporters, okay, and I do research for good faith actors. Unfortunately, Vela4 V, I don't believe you're a good faith actor, because anybody who would question, I've read the same damn quote 5 times. Anybody who would question that would have the God-given sense if they were actually trying to learn and not trying to be proven right to just go look it up. I just gave you the word. I said the quote 3 or 4 times, but you were so busy. Niko's a liar. Niko's a liar. Niko's a liar. How about you stop talking shit and go do some damn research? That would be helpful. I'm not playing with y'all today. I keep telling y'all this shit. So I see a lot of people asking about Tim. If you want to know what's going on with Tim, Tim's going to say whatever he thinks will get him the most support that day. That's a pretty accurate representation. He's going to say whatever he thinks. If it's Bernie that day, he's going to be a Bernie supporter. If it's Tulsi that day, he's going to be a Tulsi supporter. That's kind of where he's at right now. That it is what it is. He's a little sour that Tulsi didn't give him an interview when he wanted it. And so it is what it is. Now, Tim made it very clear apparently yesterday, I'm not going to go deciphering through Tulsi's policies to figure out what Tulsi believes in. That's okay. Bro, no. No. So that's how we deflect accountability. I'm not gonna go fucking do research before I come up here and talk shit and convince all of you all that everything I'm saying is true. I ain't got time for this shit, bro. I don't got time for it. I don't. I keep telling y'all, just like I told everybody else, if you have time to talk shit in front of a camera for your little clicks, and because one way or the other, you're trying to persuade the outcome of this election. You're trying to persuade public opinion. You're trying to bring people into your camp. And Tim, because I've heard it, like I said, I've heard that he wanted to talk shit. Like he don't know my number, like he don't have my, like he can't add me on Twitter, like we don't know, we know each other. If Tim has something to say. What's even funnier is that Tim actually had a direct line to Tulsi through me. Seth Marks, still waiting for Bernie Sanders to stand up and support Tim Canova. You're going to be waiting for quite some time, my friend. But I wish I knew why he didn't stand up for him. When people want to, I don't have a problem with disagreements. I have a problem with lies. I have a problem with you being corrected. Because this is a lot of this shit isn't, like, for example, whenever I tell you, when I was debating Obi today, we were talking about the OFF Act. We were talking about climate change. And he's like, Tulsi's bill doesn't address workers' rights and workers' labor, labor. And Bernie's does. So, of course, I literally read the section from the bill because I already saw this shit coming. They use the same talking points over and over and over again. It's not really hard to predict what a Bernie supporter is going to say. It's Niko and Iko and Natalie. Thanks again for the super chat. And you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. I straight up said what was in the bill. And he was like, he looked after, it's like, once again, it's almost like they don't even hear what, hold on, is he saying something bad about Bernie? Is he talking about Bernie? Is he kissing Bernie's ass? Oh, I didn't hear. I'm sorry. Can you say it again? Because after I read, because he went first on that particular subject, after I read verbatim from the bill, all the way that it addresses labor movement, the labor movement in transitioning, this man looked at me dead in my face, looked at the whole world and said, well, Bernie's plan is still better because it addresses labor and wages and Tulsi's doesn't. Bro, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh man, so you not playing, you stupid. Oh, okay, I got it. Cool. Big Irv, man, where you been at, Big Irv? Man, shit, my chat ain't been lit without Big Irv, man. I miss you, dog. Where you been at? Big Irv. Man, I ain't seen Big Irv in a minute. So, when I'm looking at you dead in your face, once again, if you've watched the debate, and I know a few of you in the comment section have already, and I put it up on my channel, and by the way, make sure you subscribe to Slow News Day if you have not, because he does some amazing coverage, seriously. If you watch the debate, how many times did I say something, I look at him, I said something that, like, if you were paying attention to what I just said, it would literally blow your goddamn mind. If you actually were like a hardcore Bernie supporter who learned something new, as it should. If I learned something new about Tulsi, I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on, let me check this out real quick. Let me verify this. I would say something to this man. He would be like, huh? And then just move on. Like, I told him, he was like, so for those of you who don't know, there's an organization called Move to Amend. Move to Amend is an organization built around the idea that big money should be taken out of politics. And they have a bunch of initiatives that they have brought to Congress people and senators to introduce an amendment to get big money out of politics. This is an organization that's been around for quite some time. They've made significant ground and they have done amazing work. And they finally got Congress people who took them seriously and introduced this legislation to move to amend the Constitution to make sure that we can never have big money corrupting our politics ever again. At least officially. Tulsi introduced this alongside Jayapal, Think Ro Khanna, and a couple of other people. And they actually came to the Miami event to thank her personally for doing so. I was actually there for it. So I'm having this debate, and Obi, and this is after I told him. I mentioned this. I said, move to amend, move to amend, move to amend, move to amend, big money in politics, big money in politics. I said this shit like 5 times during the debate because I was already talking past him with other shit, so I wanted to make sure that he heard that, so we didn't have this misunderstanding. So at the end, near the end of the debate, he goes on a tangent where he just lied back to back to back. He's like, Tulsi can't even get a poll over 3%, which was a lie, because I told him in the debate, one of her qualifying polls was 5% nationally. But then he says, and Bernie wants to get big money in politics, and that's how he's gonna get all of his legislation through, and Tulsi doesn't. You're a liar. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my Jesus. I just said, move to amend. It was already introduced. It's already been introduced. It's already been introduced. Dope. It's good to expose proper debate etiquette. Yes, it is. Appreciate the super chat, Elijah, by the way. But if I'm telling you something, like a verifiable fact, do you know how insane it is? Like, cause you have to be like borderline Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro level of debate sociopath to completely your whole premise, because that's what he started on his tangent. Bernie's gonna take big money in politics and Tulsi won't do it. And I'm like, bro, I just told you that she did it. She actually introduced this bill and Bernie hasn't introduced it. And in fact, Move to Amend the organization has had quorums with Bernie over this shit. Not this election cycle, but for years, because he keeps talking about getting big money out of politics. But every time they approach him about the issue, he brushes them off. And then when he finally had the chance, maybe he didn't think it was going to get passed. Cool. It's fucking 2019. Bernie got a mandate like we ain't really seen before. And when it was finally time to introduce the heir apparent version, because now we got it in the House, and it could be introduced in the Senate, Bernie instead introduces a plan on his presidential website instead of co-sponsoring the bill. Instead of co-introducing the bill. Okay, so if I tell you that somebody introduced a bill to take care of something, right? A bill. And the other person had multiple opportunities to introduce the same bill, but chose not to, but instead, when everybody is watching, introduces a plan instead, even though a bill is right there for him to introduce in the Senate. If I tell you that, then who do you believe is more capable and has more conviction to get that policy taken care of? The person who introduced the bill first, not somebody who introduced a plan when they became president. When I talked about this regarding climate change, I'm like, bro, I thought we were all in agreement. Climate change can't wait. Climate change can't wait. No middle ground. Climate change can't wait. Change can't wait. First, okay, Bellafour, you about to get blocked from the chat. Because you're not about to sit here and talk about Tulsi was close friends with Epstein. You're about to get blocked and you're about to get reported. Because, once again, y'all stay exposing yourself. Hey, everybody, real quick, guess who was the only presidential candidate to speak out on Jeffrey Epstein? Guess. Everybody want to guess? Everybody want to guess? Cause I love how y'all be exposing yourselves. I really do. Y'all make it super easy. Cause everything you think Bernie is better on, Tulsi is actually better on. Every time you think, I got Tulsi now. Bro, y'all make it so easy. Honestly. But I'll do this for you. You find somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about and send them my way. I know a lot of people, not everybody is built to talk in front of the camera. That's perfectly understandable. You find somebody. You go to for all you Bernie trolls. And by the way, shout out to all the Bernie supporters who are actually reasonable human beings, who actually engage and are trying to grow and are trying to push Bernie left where he needs to be pushed left. Shout out to you guys. Y'all the real MVPs. Cause I see y'all damn near take more heat than Tulsi supporters do at times, just for speaking the truth about Tulsi. So shout out to y'all. Find somebody who knows what the fuck they are talking about. Because I'm like, I gotta have another discussion on Thursday. We're gonna see how that goes. Because somebody tried to call Tulsi an Islamophobic crypto fascist. And I don't think that she knows what any of those words mean. Master Lee. Oh, listen, I've called out David Pakman multiple times. We went back and forth on Twitter, and when I was like, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore because I hate, once again, we both have platforms. Why the fuck are we going back and forth on Twitter so you can flex? I don't got time for that shit. Let's do it. In case y'all can't tell. Yes, for those of you who are curious, I am from the hood. I have fortunately moved out of the hood, but I lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina for quite some time. And clearly, a lot of it is still here, and it's okay. For political purposes, it serves its purpose. Moral of the story is, I'm not about the shit talking online. I hate Twitter fingers. I hate the fucking social media bullies. I can't stand that shit. I used to get off of the bus at school. Whenever somebody would talk shit on back then, MySpace, ooh. Whew, yeah, I'm old, y'all. I'm 30 years old. When somebody would talk shit on MySpace, I wouldn't even respond to them. I would just get off at their bus stop because I don't have time to talk back and forth with people. And I'm the same way in politics. Why, if we got a camera, we both got microphones, why am I going to do this on Twitter? So you can dodge and gaslight and hide behind your Twitter followers and like, no, bro, I don't got time for that. If you feel like you know what you're talking about, then come talk about it. It's like Anna Kasparian made the biggest deal in the world when I corrected her on the lies she told about Tulsi. And she wanted to call me out on Twitter. Oh, because Tulsi said something nice about you. Okay, Bernie said a lot of nice things about me. Nina says nice shit about me all the time. What's your point? Jane says nice shit about me all the time too. What's your point? The facts are the facts. And they were indisputable, and that's why she got upset. So when I'm once again, I don't got time for the Twitter back and forth. We both have platforms. What happens? Oh, she went ghost. I called her out for a debate. She went ghost. Oh, bro, y'all remember on TYT's YouTube? Debate Niko. Why you debate? Why don't you debate Niko? Why you hiding? Why you hiding? Where's she been at? Oh, but Anna likes to convince people that she wants productive conversations, right? So that's why when she pulls up to Politicon, she's debating Tommy Loren, because that conversation was so incredibly productive. Clearly, Anna's interested in more, about politics in the progressive movement than about herself. Clearly. That's why she debated Tommy Loren. Y'all keep listening to these people who will talk. If these people can talk shit and then whenever they get called out, hey, let's talk about it. Oh, huh? What? Mike Figueredo, and this is when I was still friends with him, Mike Figueredo and Michael Tracy got into this back and forth over censorship on Twitter. And Mike was obnoxious about that shit. Just doing what Mike does, acting super reactionary, super emotional, like cussing him out, calling Mike names, all kinds of bullshit. And I was like, you know what? Hey guys, y'all are both, I would assume, on the same team. Can I moderate this discussion and we can hash it out and then move on? After Mike talked all that shit on Twitter, and Michael Tracy, who isn't even in front of the camera that often, he's not much of a camera guy. Michael Tracy was like, oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to have a discussion about it. I think it would be really productive. Mike Figueredo, no, I've had enough of this conversation. I don't really want to talk about it anymore. So, but like, I was responding to your tweet that you just said. Now you don't want to talk about it anymore? It's crazy how people don't want to talk. David Dole ain't, he cool. He's a cool ass liar. I call his ass lying too. He tried to say Tulsi holds private fundraisers. I caught that shit out. And what was so funny was the same day I found out that Bernie was holding a damn fundraiser in LA for $200 a plate, which actually in politics, believe it or not, $200 a plate is not that big of a deal, but it was a big deal for Bernie at the time because he had never done anything like that. But I caught David Dole lying multiple times. David Dole is an idiot. Okay, so I want to be very clear about that. And he's a pussy too. Excuse my French, ladies, but he's a punk ass. Just being real. He is. I don't have time for the Twitter bullshit. Don't got time for it. And Kevin, that is a great point. They have more subscribers, so they won't debate me because it will give me more subscribers. Do you hear the logic in that? Obi has, 100 subscribers? On Twitter, he's like, 10,000 followers? I don't give a fuck if he get more followers. I don't care. You know what I care about? I care about people knowing the truth. I care about policies. If I have 300,000 subscribers and you have 20,000 subscribers and you feel like you want to debate me over some shit that I've said, is I'm lying or is I'm telling the truth? I feel like if I'm saying it, if I feel passionate enough to make a stand on it, I'm probably arguing about some shit, then I'm probably not going to give a shit if it's about policies and moving the movement forward. And guess what? If that person is telling the truth and gets more subscribers from me because that person is telling the truth, then fucking more power to them. I'm glad. I'm glad. That's good. That's cool. More discourse, more conversation, more opinion. That's fine. Because basically, what it sounds like is that, they don't want to debate somebody that has an opposing opinion because it might get them more subscribers. And we don't want somebody to have the same subscribers as me and then have a different opinion and be right and expose my ass. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm just saying. But I mean, if I was David Dole, I would have dodged debating me too, if I'm being real. Because this is the same man that went on Jimmy Dore's show and said, we better vote Joe Biden in the general election if he wins. You better do it. Woo, that shit was funny. Ron Placone was not having that shit. Maddie Zubik, I'm shocked Tim Black is really bashing Tulsi. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked, Maddie. Listen, Maddie, like I said earlier, Tim is still upset that Tulsi didn't give him his interview, okay? Being real with you. Tim bashed me. Me and Tim were really close, y'all. A lot of people know that. Me and Tim were really, really close. Then he went on this weird jealous streak out of literally nowhere. I talked to him. We were fine. A few months later, I found out he was talking shit about me on YouTube. So Tim tends to fly off the rails like that, and now he feels like, talking shit and drama and bashing will get me more subscribers. And it's once again, but look at what he harps on. If you're gonna talk shit and bash and be objective and hold people accountable, why isn't it going both ways? Because you can, every little thing Tulsi talks about, oh my God, it's the bill, oh God, oh man, she said something about Obama, oh my God. Oh my God. You know, Bernie today said that I'm not okay with the Republicans calling Hunter Biden as a witness because it's just a distraction. Motherfucker, the entire case is about Hunter Biden. What do you mean it's a distraction? That is ridiculous. But you know why he's saying it? Because he's kissing the Democrats' ass. Find out if Tim makes a video about that. I can answer that for you. He will not. So, missing somebody just gave me a super chat. Elijah Freeman, appreciate the super chat. Their knowledge isn't learned, it's parroted. They can't debate because they can't unpack their positions. Elijah must be a debater. Elijah must be a debater. Or he watched the debate, because that is precisely what Obi ran into. He found out quickly that, oh shit, these talking points that I learned from Twitter, they don't work as effectively when someone can rebut them and I can't run away to a different thread and gaslight. It don't work quite the same when you're in person. Kevin Slims, why is everybody attacking someone they claim is at 1% and irrelevant? That is a damn good, man, Kevin, that's a damn good question. Well, because she's not at 1%. She's not at 1%. And you know what the truth is? Like, that's what's interesting to me, right? Because they're like, Tulsi's irrelevant. Tulsi doesn't have a chance. Tulsi should drop out. I'm like, hold on. That's weird because y'all not covering Marianne Williamson all the time. That's interesting. Y'all, why don't y'all cover everything she do? She's not a threat to Bernie. She's not Marianne. She's a threat to Bernie. She raised last quarter. Do you know that Marianne Williamson raised more money than Tulsi? Tulsi raised 3.2, or excuse me, Tulsi raised $3 million. Marianne Williamson raised 3.2 million. Nobody's upset. Nobody. What happened? Nobody's upset. Nobody want to. Nah. They're not gonna come at Marianne Williamson. Because as much as I actually really like Marianne Williamson, and I hope she's part of the next administration. She is an amazing, extremely intelligent woman. Needs a little help on foreign policy, needs a little help on whistleblowers, but she is an extremely intelligent woman. I think she should be part of the next administration. But she's not even close to a threat to Bernie Sanders. But you know what, everybody? You when you think about it, they've already told us the answer as to why they attack her. Let's look at Exhibit A. Remember in February, everybody? Whenever the good folks here at the MCSC network were everybody else was kissing Warren's ass, to put it lightly. The only time they wouldn't kiss Warren's ass is if somehow somebody in the mainstream would make the allegation that Bernie was exactly like Warren, or Warren was exactly like Bernie. That was the only time they would speak up. But even then, it was a soft little butt spank. It was, no, that's not fair. That's not true. Bernie is so much better than Warren. But when they knew Tulsi was in this race, they knew for the entire time that Tulsi was in the race. They knew. And yet, how many times have you heard people say in February, well, Warren's really the second most progressive person in the race. Warren is the second most progressive. Warren's actually progressive. She's really progressive on Wall Street. She's really progressive. Oh, man, Warren's progressive. Yeah, progressive. Yeah, huh? Yeah, it was all good. Because remember, Tulsi was receiving that praise too. Of course, it was actually earned. But in February, nobody believed that Warren, none of them, I should say, none of them believed that Warren was ever going to be a threat to Tulsi or to Bernie. Nobody believed it. But myself, because we around this time we actually went to the Democratic National Convention and we saw up close and personal Warren's support was real and she was going to be a problem for Bernie. And we said, and it wasn't just that, but it was also, once again, understanding electoral strategy. If Warren gets Warren gets more delegates and is potentially going to stop Bernie from getting the 50% or 51% required to win in the first round, do you think that Warren is going to give Bernie those delegates? No. Didn't matter though. Why? Because people don't give a fuck about strategy. They don't understand any of this shit. They didn't either that or they didn't care. But what's even more interesting is how quick they flipped when Warren became top 3. Isn't it interesting? When they finally could see the numbers reflecting that Warren was actually the threat, because they knew that the policies they couldn't keep. They're like, no, Warren's not going to be able to out-policy Bernie. Oh, but then the establishment started pushing her, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, shit. No, oh, my God. Shit, Warren is a threat. We should have listened. Yeah, we told you this. But that's what it comes down to. See, in the beginning, even though everybody was talking that shit, Tulsi was always a threat to the people who wanted Bernie and only Bernie to win for no other reason than their selfish agenda. It was never about the people, because at the end of the day, Bethlehem, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. And maybe one day, if he stops being a child and learn how to talk to people like an adult, then we can reach an understanding. But I'm not being adults for people anymore. I've tried that, and it doesn't work out that well. So, Tulsi was always a threat to Bernie because of her policies, and they knew this. That's why they came out the gate lying about her. That's why. And what was even crazier to me is that here's why they really know that she was a threat. If you want to take into account election integrity, if you want to take into account foreign policy and her DNC resignation, just those 3 things alone had already made Bernie a significant threat to, made Tulsi a significant threat to Bernie, and they knew that. But instead of saying, hey man, well shit, that's just democracy, we better move Bernie left, it was, oh no, we got to smear her. We got to not cover her. We got to pretend like she's not. We got to tell the world every day how she's not a threat, but we got to stop talking about her because she might be a threat. Makes perfect sense, right? Makes perfect sense. But here's the thing. This is why she was really the biggest threat. And I don't know if everybody has actually consciously thought about this, but I think that everybody with common sense who actually understand what's going on can agree with this, right? And let me know if you disagree. If Tulsi becomes president, do you have any doubt that if Bernie actually gets progressive legislation introduced and passed in the Senate, that she won't sign it through? That Bernie's domestic agenda cannot be achieved through a Tulsi Gabbard presidency? Does anybody believe that the woman who worked for the Sanders Institute and backed Bernie Sanders in 2016 and signed on the Medicare for All Jayapal's bill and then had an opportunity to sign on Medicare for America but refused to because it was a public option? Does anybody truly believe that Bernie could have introduced his agenda and that Tulsi wouldn't fight for it? She would absolutely fight for it. Everybody knows that. However, let's flip that real quick. Let's reverse this. If Bernie wins, do you trust him to be anti-regime change? Do you trust him to tell the truth about our foreign policy? No, absolutely not. No matter how much I like Bernie, I have always been realistic that Bernie has been naive when it comes to blindly listening to the intelligence community. Because, I mean, like, how can you cheer for Lula, which is great, by the way. Lula is an amazing guy, was an amazing leader, and then call Maduro a communist dictator? Burners against Tulsi are pro Liz Piz, don't group us. Huh? I'm not really sure what that meant. If you want to re-comment again, I'll respond to it. But if Bernie wins, how much of Tulsi's foreign policy, which she is infinitely better than, it's not even close. And if you try to pretend like it's close, you're living in a fantasy world. Okay? You're living in a fantasy world. I don't know. Like, I can admit that although Bernie, I don't think Bernie is that far ahead of Tulsi's domestic agenda. However, Bernie is better. He has a better domestic agenda overall. Okay? But it's like by this much. When you want to compare Tulsi's foreign policy to Bernie's foreign policy, it's this many. And I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about pockets. It's this many lives different. In other words, this many innocent lives will be spared under Tulsi's foreign policy versus Bernie's foreign policy. It's that kind of a difference. And anyone arguing otherwise, once again, is lying to themselves or lying to themselves. I don't know what to tell you. Or no, there are some uninformed people. And there are people who have come actually seeking knowledge and actually seeking to understand where that came from. That's fine. But there are now people who have kind of warped their minds, because if you're on Twitter specifically, I know you've seen it. The people who could at first admit, you know what? Hey, man, Bernie got domestic policy, but Tulsi's definitely better than him there. He can learn a lot from Tulsi. Now, Tulsi's a threat. Bernie's better on foreign policy. He really is. He's always been really, like, he's really the peace candidate. Huh? Oh, so y'all just forgot now, huh? That quick. That's crazy shit. It is hilarious to even think that Bernie is... Listen, y'all. Tulsi, in her initial years in Congress, did not have what I would call a progressive foreign policy. Nobody did, actually, except for... Conyers was actually really good. Barbara Lee was pretty damn good as well. As far as foreign policy and making sure we don't get into a necessary war. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I can't remember if Cynthia McKinney was in when Tulsi was in. But Tulsi didn't have the best foreign policy back then. But she learned, as she always does. But, you know, her shit was like, she didn't vote against as many military budgets, as I would have liked. She didn't vote like, to end a particular war as quick as I would have liked. Like shit like that. Okay, that's cool. However, for all of her faults, which, by the way, she had gotten Congress in 2014? You're just now learning about foreign policy at this point, basically. You're learning from the wrong fucking people. First couple years in Congress, I can forgive a few missteps. That's fine. However, in 2011, Bernie had been in Congress and in the Senate a combined, probably 20 years at that point? Almost 30 years at that point, I want to say. So how the fuck do you make a mistake like co-sponsoring legislation to overthrow Gaddafi, which led to a fucking slave state in Libya? Has Tulsi ever made a foreign policy blunder that bad? I don't think so. And if she did, if she ever did, do you think that she will repeat the same mistakes by when she's asked about Assad? I think that we should transition Assad out. When asked about Maduro, I think we should transition Maduro out. What the fuck do you think that means? G, thanks for the super chat, please. Well, I know what the please, man. I'm not that old. All right, look, man. You out here sending texts like it's T9 and shit. You got the T9 little click clacks, flip phone tag. We don't say please with PLZ anymore. G, come on. Nah, Jason from Detroit isn't Obi. He's actually just a dumbass named Jason from Detroit, unfortunately. He wants attention just like Obi did. He has been begging for my attention forever, and because he's seen me debate Obi today, he thinks that he's going to get a chance to debate me. Now, for all the issues I have with Obi, at least Obi has a following and somebody respects his opinion, so I didn't mind giving him a little bit of my time. Jason's trying to build his entire career off of trolling me, and I feel bad for him because I'm not that famous, bro, and you're not going to get famous from trolling me. I promise you. I'm not the guy to make money. Go troll somebody really, really popular, but don't troll me. I'm just not that famous. I'm not going to lie to you. But when I look over Tulsi's most egregious mistakes, and the context in which he made them, which they're not that many egregious mistakes. Mistakes nonetheless, though. Like, her mistakes definitely fall short of overthrowing a leader and indirectly creating a slave state because of it. Her mistakes ain't that bad. I mean, shit. Oh, bruh. And then, I mean, when we're having this conversation about, sorry, y'all. I laughed at it whenever he said it, and I shouldn't have laughed at it, but I did, I think. At least I laughed on the inside. This man said, and Bernie Sanders is working on, he's good on whistleblowers. Bernie's great on whistleblowers. No. Hell no. Love the Burn man. Don't ever put Bernie's name on whistleblowers unless it's Bernie be fucking up when it comes to whistleblowers. No. 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 No, 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 no. Nope. Nope. I couldn't believe it. But once again, and this is somebody who used to be rational, who Obi used to be rational, used to call out Bernie for his lack of a statement on Assange, used to hold Bernie accountable. And once again, he tried to get into that little club. Go to his page. Go to it's America_vest. And everything whenever he tries to critique me or attack Tulsi, guess who he tags to let you know how genuine he is? Anna Kasparian, Michael Brooks, Sam Cedar, I think David Dole and Mike Figueredo. Bruh, what? Those are the ones you want? Oh, man, because, yeah, Michael Brooks is so great when it comes to whistleblowers. Michael Brooks will pretend like hell. Oh, man, I'm just such a socialist, bro. Like, I'm just such a Democratic socialist. My advocacy for Lula and by extension, Bernie's advocacy for Lula, like that just makes him, clearly he's the best on solidarity. Yeah, what about Maduro? Hey, man, but fuck Maduro, though. Maduro is a totally different situation. It's totally different. Why? Because he's not Lula and Bernie doesn't like him. So therefore, we ignore everything about that situation. Like, we can't. If you call out Bernie for insulting and attacking Maduro and simultaneously propping up Lula, then people might think that Bernie actually doesn't understand what the fuck is happening in Central and South America. And that might hurt people. That might hurt his opportunity to win. And once again, what it ultimately comes down to, and I could push him left there. I could try and push him left there. But my fear is that I could try and he won't listen. I'll repeat that again. My fear, I'm speaking as the conscious of Michael Brooks and friends. If I try and push Bernie left on foreign policy in a legitimate way, my fear is that he won't listen and it will expose a chink in his armor. And then I'll have to hold him accountable because I'm pushing him left there. And if I hold him accountable there, I have to actually give credit to other candidates where it's due when they're good at these issues. Oh, shit. And who's the only candidate that is actually good at those issues? Oh, shit. It's Tulsi. Duh. What a surprise. Gold Perry, thanks for the super chat. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I just find this so interesting. It's like Everybody just so quick to be like, man, you should hold Tulsi accountable. Hold Tulsi accountable. You know what's crazy? We just saw, and I would think that nobody would disagree with this. Lula has been freed, and because there has been an international movement behind getting him out of prison, right? It's been a big thing. It's been a thing. Bernie assisted that movement greatly with his voice. Did he not? His entire movement is behind Lula. Most of these motherfuckers had no idea who Lula was until this election cycle. Imagine what would have happened if Bernie spoke up about Julian Assange the moment he was arrested. Because what did they always say? They always said, what could he do? What would speaking up about Julian Assange do? It would just hurt his chances to win. Oh my God, why are you being so hard on Bernie? But we just saw how powerful a coalition of progressive leaders can be when their voices are combined. Did we not? Antonio T, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. I do. Try to do my research every now and then before I go on a camera in front of a whole bunch of people and say some shit. Apparently, Obi cannot do me the same courtesy. Whatever, it's cool. And maybe some people's argument could be, well, Julian Assange is too controversial. It's not black and white enough. Although he's a fucking journalist, it's pretty guy. If there was ever a situation of black and white, it would be the guy who prints his shit in black and white. He's a journalist. It is literally a black and white issue. He's protected. But okay, let's just say that's too controversial. Then what about Chelsea Manning? Is that too controversial? Chelsea Manning being held without being charged with any crime and being charged $1,000 a day every single day without ever being charged a crime. Hold up, is that? And what, like, bro, this is your chance. You can call the Trump administration. I know that you're only allowed to attack Trump now. This is your chance. Trump administration. Trump administration. This is it. Okay, Bernie. We're waiting. We're waiting. Okay. This is black and white. This is super easy. This is a fucking layup. Just demand her release. Demand due process, bro. Just no, nothing. Okay, well, Tulsi, what would you do if you were in this situation? I would fucking free them all and introduce protections to make sure it never happens again. Oh, okay. Well, shit. That was easy. Oh, and best believe it, when Tulsi said that shit, if she didn't have my endorsement before, she absolutely had them now. Because you know what, you know what conviction it takes to say that shit? Bro, she didn't even equivocate. It was no head. Who watched that Joe Rogan interview? I know a lot of y'all did. She didn't hesitate. She didn't equivocate. It wasn't but we gotta hold them accountable for. But no. It was, oh no, hell no. I'm pardoning them. They're heroes. They are heroes. She said during that interview, I couldn't even have passed legislation that we passed to hold the NSA accountable unless Edward Snowden didn't push those revelations. She was breaking it down about how much we owe the likes of Chelsea Manning, Julian Assange, and Edward Snowden. When we were waiting for Bernie to just show a little backbone, just fucking stand up for the First Amendment, Bernie, like Jesus fucking Christ. It's so easy. It's a layup, bro. It's a fucking layup. It's a finger roll. While we were waiting, Tulsi turns around and drops a whole fucking video to defend him. Goes on MSNBC and defends him. Goes on Fox News and defends him. Because guess what? For those of you like, oh man, Tulsi went on Breitbart. Oh God, Tulsi went on Breitbart. Guess what she said? Same exact thing she said on MSNBC. Same exact thing she said on Fox News. Same exact thing she said on the debate stage. Same exact thing she said in the town hall. Same exact thing she said on Twitter. She defended Julian Assange without equivocation. Every single platform she has been on. And, you know, I had almost forgot about Bernie not speaking out on Julian Assange. I really did. I almost forgot until Bernie did an entire video dedicated to celebrating this fake ass CIA asset that is calling himself a whistleblower. Oh man. Hey, Google user, before I block you, Jason, I want to let you know something. When the time comes around February, I want you to ask me that question again. Cause I have an unfair advantage because I get field numbers from Tulsi. And so I'm not gonna put you in that predicament. But anybody who wants to ask that question again in January or February and put up their money, I bet a couple $1,000s that Tulsi's gonna finish top 2 in New Hampshire. I'll bet a couple thousand that Tulsi will win top 2 in New Hampshire and will probably win top 2 or top 3 in Iowa. Everything Revolution. Jordan 100% dissing Tulsi down you and praises Warren. Oh, when was this? He praised Warren? Oh, well, I mean, this is Jordan. That boy ain't got no integrity. Hey, whoever, if you ever catch Jordan live, ask him how he feels about Israel and Palestine. Watch him get fidgety. Little pro tip for me to you. And by the way, Jordan can bring his ass right on his goddamn chat too. Jordan know where to find me. Jordan got my number. Bro, once again, where am I at, bro? I'm right here. Why does everybody got to say my name? And once again, I tag these people on Twitter. Everybody want to say my name on YouTube videos. They want to say my name. They want to subtweet me. No, bro, at me. Stop being little bitches. If Tim, Jordan, David, Mike, Anna, Jank, I don't give a fuck. If you're not willing to say it in front of a camera, it's because you full of shit. You speak in front of a camera all day. You pretend like you're an authority on the issue. Then come defend your shit or shut the fuck up and let people who give a fuck about this shit do their damn jobs the way they're supposed to. These money hungry motherfuckers gonna fuck the progressive movement up. I'm telling you. These money hungry people are gonna fuck the progressive movement up. These are the same motherfuckers that was telling you, you gotta vote for Hillary. You gotta vote for Hillary. You got to. Isn't it crazy? Wasn't it funny how all the white progressives were telling you that Hillary was better for us? And I'm a black man, and I'm sitting here like, bro, 2 of my friends are in jail over this damn crime bill. And she hasn't divested from private prisons. In fact, I'm pretty sure she's upped the ante. And although I am not from Haiti, I am Caribbean. And what Hillary did in Haiti, for obvious reasons, doesn't sit really well with me. And in fact, Hillary didn't really prove to be to the left of Trump on anything at all, actually. And the white progressives, where a good amount of them are millionaires, and the rest are sitting pretty, they'll look at you and they'll be like, yo, if y'all don't vote for Hillary, you're kind of a racist. You're kind of a racist. These are the same ones that are going to tell you to vote blue no matter who. These are the same ones that are going to tell you to vote for Warren Warren. That's what they're going to tell you to vote for. These are the same ones whenever the elections are rigged again, when everybody and their mama tried to scream from the rooftops, but the top tier candidates didn't want to listen and don't want to say anything because Bernie for some reason thinks that, oh man, maybe this time they won't rig it against me. As long as you want Medicare for all, they're absolutely going to rig it against you. As long as you want Medicare for all, they're going to rig it against you. So, hey, Vela4V, I'm glad you feel that way. And since we're taking polls into account, I guess Warren is beating Bernie's ass because we got to be consistent, right? Because you only want to use polls and you weirdly cherry pick polls. Because I could cherry pick a poll that said Tulsi had 10% in Iowa. I could cherry pick the fuck out of polls. But if we're going to be consistent and just use polls that confirm our argument, then Warren is beating Bernie's ass, ain't he? If that's what we're saying, does anybody believe that? No. If you believe that shit, no. You don't know how to read polls, maybe. That could be it. Now, there are some people who don't know how to read polls. But in reality, no, Warren is not beating... No. Hell no, Warren is not beating Bernie right now. I think Warren is in second place. I think Biden is in third or fourth. I do think that Buttigieg is actually doing better than Warren. I do think he's doing better than Warren, but it's not reflecting as accurately because a lot of his voters, for whatever reason, also skew really young, very similar to Bernie's and Tulsi's. Antonio T, did you see Warren say, "I'm just a player in the game"? Bro, oh man, oh Antonio, oh bruh, oh dog, oh man, they gave her a fucking layup. Don't you think we should, weigh people of color's opinion more than we actually do in this election? Like maybe we should stop treating black people like they're second-class citizens and admit that they're as influential in this primary as other white states. And she was like, look, I'm just a player in this game. I'm just a player. Amy Goodman was trying, and she was mad at Amy Goodman for asking that question. Obviously, I was paraphrasing the question, y'all. It wasn't verbatim, but it was basically Amy Goodman trying to give her a layup with the black electorate in South Carolina, and Warren fucking bombed it. It was so bad. It was so bad. Man, it was so bad. It was so fucking bad. Hold up, Green Main. Did you just say that I haven't criticized Tulsi? I'm gonna let the chat take care of that one. I criticized Tulsi in the middle of the damn debate. I criticized Tulsi during this stream. But I know, guys. Y'all hear what y'all want to hear. It's okay. It's cool. Joseph Malvals, thank you very much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it. I just hate people suffering. Man, Dennis. Man. That's the realest right there. If I could say, if anybody asked me, why do you support Tulsi over everybody else? That would be, if I could give like a one line answer, that would be it. I just hate to see people suffering. Real talk. I just love how these privileged motherfuckers will sit here and tell you, even if you're on Twitter, it's even Savage Joy, and she has a medical condition, and that's why Medicare for All is so personal to her. So I try to be really nice to her. I really did. Even when she was smearing Tulsi, I still try to be nice and respectful to her. If you don't know, it's Savage Joy from Real Progressives. Um, but but it got to a point where motherfuckers is on Twitter attacking Tulsi because her yard sign is $29.99. I'm not joking. The quote was, "How can you claim to be a progressive if your yard sign is $29.99?" I gotta explain to people. I have to explain to people that Tulsi is shipping out yard signs from the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean. Y'all know how shipping and handling works? That's how fucking crazy these people have gotten. And listen, y'all. I have pretty significant asthma. My mother has severe diabetes. Healthcare is very personal for me as well. I almost watched my mother die, okay, in my arms over diabetes because she was trying to skimp on her insulin. So it is absolutely personal for me, just like it is everybody else. But you know what? If I can give up healthcare for 3 more years so another baby is not bombed in Syria and is actually given a chance to live a normal fucking life, to sleep one night without being paranoid about being bombed, just having that peace. I'll give up healthcare for 5, I'll give up healthcare for 10 more years if a fucking 2-year-old in Syria can have one night of not worrying about being bombed. I can figure it out. I get it. There are a lot of people in a lot of good situations. There are people in bad situations. But at the end of the day, we have at least this much autonomy. At least this ain't a lot. It ain't a lot. This much autonomy over our healthcare. Like if I find the right job, if I'm willing to relocate, I can put myself in a situation where I might be able to get a little bit better healthcare. A little bit. But if I'm a 3-year-old in Syria, there is no autonomy over getting my fucking house bombed. For what? For what? And these people don't give a fuck. They don't. Because they know they can lie to you about Tulsi's foreign policy, because America has been conditioned to be apathetic to the lives that are taken overseas. We've been conditioned to be apathetic, and they take advantage of our inherent selfish nature. And hold on, let me get my baby. Hold on. Come here, baby girl. Y'all hear her? It's my baby girl, Nala. Everything revolution. Niko, would you like a 30-year perspective on Tulsi's amazing spiritual path, life, and guru? I'm Paul from Tallahassee. I've been active for 39 years. Sure, you can email me. My email, Nala, where are you going? My email is on my Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, this is my baby Nala. She is loud. And you hear her? What, baby girl? What is it? Where you? No, I know what you're going to try to go do. She wants to go scratch my damn wall. That's what she wants to go do. What? What do you want? What do you want? Can you chill for a little bit while daddy finishes up? I'm almost done. So, no, you're right. Actually, she does not like the camera. If she's sleeping and you pull out your phone camera, She knows and she'll run away. So, can you lay down, baby? No. This is the one. This is Nala, and she'll literally do whatever the fuck she can to get my attention if I'm not paying enough attention to her. So, yeah. But yeah, like I was saying before I finish up here, because clearly I'm being summoned. Humanity versus evil. Hi, Niko, Yang fan here. Love listening to you call out Obi on his BS. By the way, what are your thoughts on Berners attacking Yang for calling his plan Medicare for all? So Yang isn't taking lobbying money right now, so it's hard to tell what Yang's plan is going to be. But so I say the same thing about Yang's plan I say about Tulsi's plan and Bernie's plan, really. I don't know. We don't know what the fuck we're going to get by the end of it all. We don't. If Yang became president and Bernie was still in the Senate, it's highly likely that Yang's plan would look closer to Bernie's than to Yang's. Whatever he thinks it is. They would probably meet in the middle where Bernie, very similar, they would probably meet in the middle to something like what Tulsi is talking about, which is single payer that everybody pays into. However, private insurance would not be totally abolished, although they would be taken away from the Nala. Relax. Okay. Anyway, they would be taken away from the negotiation table, and they would probably meet in the middle. But Bernie would have more control over Yang's Medicare for all if Yang was president than Yang would, which is good for both of them, really. And I believe that whatever Bernie introduced, Yang would sign. So I think the whole point between that is mute, pragmatically. Like, I think it's silly to think that Yang went and signed Bernie's legislation. Now, if Yang starts taking corporate money now, and I got to be clear about this, because he said some shit the other day about taking corporate money in general, and if he does that, we have a different conversation. And if he's not talking single payer or Medicare for all, then we got a problem. Baby girl, can you relax? Can you relax for a little bit? I'm almost done. Okay? I ain't ask you to argue back and forth with me. Just chill. You good? Okay, thank you. This one I gotta deal with, y'all. I'm telling you, every day. I got six cats. And they're all bad. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Don't let these people try to tell you that foreign policy is secondary. Don't let these people try and convince you that Tulsi is evil. And guess what? We gonna keep making these videos about Tulsi. We gonna keep telling the truth. We gonna keep spitting facts. We gonna keep debating these motherfuckers. We gonna keep exposing people. We gonna keep talking our shit because they ain't gonna do nothing about it. And if they got a problem with it, MCSC network. We told you so. I'm right here. We're right here. All of us are. You want to debate me? I'll send Sophia after these motherfuckers. Don't let me get Sophia out, dog. I'll bring Sophia out so fast. Look. Don't make me bring Fiorella out. I'll bring Fiorella out too. Shit, y'all haven't got a debate. I'll sit back and watch it and take a break. Shit. What up, Nala? Come here, Nala. Y'all hear her? Come here, Nala. Come here. Nala. Come here. Say, my daddy don't play that shit. Say, my daddy don't play that shit. Say, yeah. That means my daddy don't play that shit. Say, my daddy don't play that. Nah, ain't gonna say it. My daddy don't play that shit. My daddy don't play that shit. My daddy don't play that shit. Love you. Say, always remember more than anything else, find your balance. See? Peace.